Hey, what's up, Silas here. I'm going to be talking about the Omnibus bill that just got signed. This is 23rd of March in 2018. United States of America, the the government just passed this massive omnibus bill. And the omnibus bills are these massive behemoths where they just throw in these different things together, and they normally release it just a few days or before it's actually supposed to be signed. And nobody can actually read all these things, and they normally tie in these small special interest things here, these small special projects with different congressmen, different senators, different states, different political interests are just thrown in there. And because, oh, the government's going to grind down to a halt, how are we going to do this? We have to keep funding these things. They'll just ram this thing through, and then it carries on. But this is a natural thing about the government. If you have been following US government, US politics, you do understand that spending actually goes up when the Republicans are in, just for the basic thing that there's a few things the Republicans want to spend on, and the Democrats want to spend on more things in general. Yet, when the Republicans in power, in order to get those few things passed, they'll let a lot of the things the Democratic Party has slide in with it. Yet, the Democratic Party, the few things that the Republicans normally want to spend on, are things that if they're not included in the many things that Democrats want to spend on, the Republicans will push back. So the Republicans, I think, that's my general understanding of it. That makes it so the Republicans will actually end up being a stopgap to actual increase of spending to blow up as much as it does under the Republican leadership. Because the Republicans have a few things they want to spend on, normally military spending. I don't know what else is in there. Um, so as long as they can tie in some funding for this special interest group that the Democrats like, for this minority group, or for this and that, as long as they can throw those in there, the Democrats will be like, yeah, okay, we'll let military spending go because we're not necessarily against war. Really, it's not like the Democrats are completely against actually having wars. So yeah, that's just one thing I was thinking about with that situation. So, seeing the panic, go to the Breitbart.com article about this omnibus veto thing going on, especially with having Donald J. Trump have earlier tweeted and said, I'm considering vetoing this since DACA residents, the DACA people, the Dreamers, were left out by the Democrats and doesn't have enough funding for their border wall. Then Trump came out and had a press conference and said he's going to sign it anyway. And it just happened a few hours ago, and people are already losing it. It is very similar to the way people were like, okay, Trump got in, they're going to build camps, they're going to do this. So you have these massive levels of panic on both sides from different things. Whereas just literally yesterday, Donald J. Trump had that one tweet going at Joe Biden because Joe Biden had talked about, oh, I'm going to take him out to the playground and just beat him up or something, things like that. Then Trump answered back and was like, look, no, if we had a fight, we could go and he'd be able to take Joe Biden. So you had people, Trump's base, Trump supporters, were like, this is amazing, this is hilarious, I can't believe this. And I was just thinking, like, imagine you being like a grandkid or something, a great grandkid, and then going back in the history books and be like, dude, like his great grandpa? Is this Crazy Joe? Is that great grandpa? The president was talking about thrashing him. And let's say I still think Donald J. Trump is going to go down as one of the top presidents in the United States of America or if the world. He's a game changer in a lot of ways. I think you got to play the long game on this and see how it's going to be. But even if he goes down as one of the on the wrong side of history, as people say, if he goes down as someone on the wrong side of history, and then imagine being your great grandfather being somebody who's in the history books for having this kind of back and forth with Donald J. Trump. I think it's rather amazing stuff going on. But back to this, I think people shouldn't panic that much. Some people are like, oh, it's gone. It's blue wave now. The Democrats have won. It's going to be a blue wave. He's lost his base. And they're trying to act like this is the Republican Party that this is not. They're trying to act like this is not the same Republican Party that less than 2 years ago, a year and a half ago when the election was still going, a lot of these people were anti-Trump, outright anti-Trump that are still in there. They still had their special interests. They're still playing on that thing. There were still the leaks. There were still all these things going on, genuflecting whenever something went on, whenever some issue came up. They're like, oh, I can't believe Trump said this. Oh, I can't believe this happened politically. Oh, I can't believe the country's going this way. Oh, this shooting happened. Now we need to change these gun things. There was all these bump stock bans, the raising of the ages of buying guns, and all these other things that have been happening over this last year and a half. That people were realizing, okay, that's not necessarily all Trump. When something bad happens, people on the left say that's completely Trump. And a lot of the people supporting him point out that, hey, that's not necessarily Trump. Yet with this veto thing, I do know he could have directly vetoed it, and veto power is a little different. But I just think people should chill. There's this thing that's on the screen, it's been on the screen. Merch with it. I'm going to put some merch up. This is a design thing I did. This was back right after the election when there was still a lot of tweets and people were still getting used to Trump. And I think part of the reason I am able to actually have these kind of conversations, look at these things in these ways, is because I've been in and out of the country. I've been in situations where I get plugged out and I realize that, yes, Trump is doing some really questionable things are happening in the United States of America, that if you're following it, if you're inside that thing, you can get carried on with that machine. You can get carried on with the wave of it. Not the blue wave, but just the waves of this. They can just keep hitting you. If you're just sitting on that shore, they can keep hitting you. Sometimes it might be beneficial to go to the beach house or just go somewhere else and watch the film of the beach versus just sitting on the beach and taking the tide in, tide out, tide in, tide out. So this is something I put up, was this Surgeon General's warning. Trump pills are a scheduled MAGA substance. Though regular use is encouraged due to their high energy content, they have been found to be highly potent and addictive. It is advisable to wait for 24 to 48 hours before making strong judgments after ingesting each new dose. Now, this is what I'm saying. Like, you see, just less than 24 hours ago, the Joe Biden tweet, people were like, yeah, on one side. Like, people were like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening on one side. And then this happens, and then people are already flipped over. Some of the people who were like, yeah, like, oh no, it's over. And some of the people that were like, I hate this man. Like, yeah, we finally won him over. So this is back and forth. And these are the side effects included was triggering, confusion, literally canting, more popular voting, shaking, I can't evening, literally Hitlering, collusion, which is still there, and Bernie would have wanting, and then alternate effects. Now, this is the people on the right with the effects that it have. That's it. I'm off the Trump train. He's totally been co-opted by the establishment. He may as well be Hillary Clinton. My XD chest, or they put whatever number, my 4D chest, my 5D chest, it's just part of this ploy. Or we should have clapped. That's, I think, the people who were more Rhino, more old school Republican Party, who are very suspect of Trump. I think a lot of people are now, in situations like this, they kind of think like, we should have just gone with Bush. We should have just gone with something similar to what was out there before. And so I'm just telling the people in the United States of America, sometimes maybe take a step back. People who are pro-Trump, anti-Trump, whatever, take a step back in politics. Realize that, what are you doing? This is the question I was asking. What are you personally doing? If you were listening to this video because of the politics thing, you probably are concerned and interested in politics. Now, what are you personally doing in your life to improve your political situation, improve the knowledge of people around your life, and to improve the political life of people around you? What are you personally doing that had changed? Like, let's say for some reason you just didn't watch TV today or last 2 days. You didn't know about this omnibus bill for whatever reason, and you were working on certain political plans. Going to bed, waking up tomorrow morning without hearing the news that Trump signed this, what would actually change from what you were going to do to improve future politics from that day? Is there more you could do? Can you talk to more people in your life? I'm not saying you have to be like Colin Kaepernick. And people like Colin Kaepernick, I kind of tip my hat to them, where they took a political stance. I may completely disagree with what they were doing, but they took a stance. I'm not saying you have to go out there and lose your job, probably lose your ability to be employed in the field that you're in right now. But are you doing everything that you can within the sphere of, what is your comfort level of the things that you're talking about? Are you talking to people around? Are you finding a better way to present your ideas so maybe you can present them without losing your job or something? Are you participating in local elections and local events if you think that's actually something that is a positive way or an effective way of affecting political change? So yeah, that's just some of the thoughts I have on this. I think Donald J. Trump is kind of like similar, like I was saying in that Black Panther video, the one where it's like Africa reacts to America, where I was going at people in the Black Negro community in the United States of America who were acting, or just people in general who were acting like Black Panther is now this thing that's going to change the existence of African Americans, of the Negroes. It's going to empower them in certain ways. No, he's just a comic book character. He can inspire you. He can make you have certain thoughts and certain drives. Like, speaking about inspiring, I just watched The Greatest Showman. Go watch The Greatest Showman. Amazing movie. That movie can inspire you, but it's not like I'm going to be like, I'm going to be a circus master now. But it'll inspire you in different ways and do different things. So with Donald J. Trump, I'm thinking he should be that kind of situation where if you think he is a good example of something standing up against the system, then what are you doing in your personal life to do that? Now, if you think you are more in support of the system and you are against someone like Donald J. Trump, then also what are you doing in your personal life to advance that? Like, are you just going to wait for Trump to hopefully do things that you think are going to be more supporting of the system or whatever? So anyway, go out there, do more in your life. I may be biased to that again because I'm talking more about politics, and I think the more the merrier. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. I think I'm going to use this actually as the daily merch. There's some other thing I had, some other design I was working on, but I'll release a video of that this weekend. But that's not necessarily going to be the merching. But yeah, this will be the merch of the week. The previous one was Don't Talk Isht, Stop Talking Isht, Quit Talking Isht. And then the first one was Offense is Now Not a Defense. So this is the third one in the 33 weeks of merch. So yeah, like, share, and subscribe. No, I think this merch is already up. Goodbye.